And then when you say the Somaliland, that was a British Somaliland. It was two regions, the northeast region and northwest region. And now northeast region is part of which is 45%.
السلام عليكم، مرحبا، كيفكم؟ شو الاخبار؟ معكم فيديو كلاسي، جبنا لكم فيديو جديد ان شاء الله ينال اعجابكم. الفيديو اليوم يا جماعه فيديو عنوانه كثير رائع، عنوانه كثير خلاب. طبعا بدنا نشوف فيديو الصومال تذل اسرائيل في الامم المتحده بسبب مخطط تقسيم في سومالي لاند. بدنا نشوف الفيديو ونعطي ردة فعلنا عليه. لا تنسوا الاشتراك، تفعيل الجرس، لايك، دعم، شارك الفيديو مع اصدقائكم مع العائله وين ما كان لحتى نرتفع فيديو يشوف غيركم. نشوف الفيديو بنقول بسم الله. يلا بسم الله.
To come to this place and lecture us humanity and genocide and human rights and independence and democracy, and we know what you're doing on a daily basis, is just an insult. I will make 3 points, Excellency. First, actions of occupying power in Palestine and indeed in the broader region are well documented. These actions constitute clear violations of international law. What we see today and time again are acts to terrorize civilian populations and crimes against humanity and force displacement of a whole community, starvation of innocent people, and killing and maiming hundreds of thousands. And someone doing all these things are lecturing us today what
عادي يا جماعه، جوعوهم وقتلوهم عادي. شو هالشغله العظيمه؟ ما في شيء يعني الواحد شو هن يعني ذباب. شو هالشغله بالنسبه لهم؟ شغله عاديه يعني بسيطه، يعني هذا الشيء انحكى فيه كثير.
what they call genocide and things like that. I'm shocked to listen to the outrageous comments from the Israeli representative. If we want to talk about genocide, it's Israel that's committing on our own eyes every day. He represents a government that killed more than 70,000 people, civilians, including children, women, elderly, doctors, and other health workers, and patients in hospitals, destroying infrastructures, deliberately starving people of Gaza. To come before us, esteemed council, and accuse Somalia of committing genocide is just ridiculous and it's unbelievable. The other thing that I want to add is he has no idea what Somali is and where Somalis are and what Somali stands for. I think the history is a selective history that he has just generated on his own mind. Let me give you some lessons on this. There is a systematic, it's a troubling, Somalia is one country, one people, one religion that fought together for independence.
والله الشعب الصومالي شعب واحد، لا للتقسيم لا للتقسيم لا للتقسيم.
From the colonial. And Somalia is again one that's fighting terrorist organizations in the Horn of Africa as a one group, one religion, one ethnic group. And then when you say the Somaliland, that was a British Somaliland. It was two regions, the northeast region and northwest region. And now northeast region is part of which is 45% of the land and the population are part of the federal government of Somalia. What we're talking about is northwest, which is also having a problem. Half of northwest is now older region, which is close to the Djibouti border. And they are totally against what the Isaq people that you say, Isaq genocide. And there was no such genocide in Somalia that took place. Somalia had a...
هلا جيبوتي موقفة مع الصومال ولا مع أرض الصومال؟ اكتبوا لي بالتعليقات.
civil war, and the civil war has its own effects. And we believe the civil war was also financed from outside. So to come to this place and lecture us humanity and genocide and human rights and independence and democracy, and we know what you're doing on a daily basis, is just an insult. And I cannot take it without responding to this. Thank you, Mr. President. I have the honor to deliver this
والله كلامه قوي وكلامه رائع، حبيت.
statement on behalf of A3+, mainly Algeria, Guyana, Sierra Leone, and my own country, Somalia. We express our appreciation for the presidency for promptly convening this meeting at the request of A3+, joined by China, Pakistan, and Russian Federation. I also want to welcome the participation of the representatives from the Arab League nations, the African Union, Djibouti, Kuwait, South Africa, Turkey, to this meeting. Mr. President, I also want to thank ASG Khalid Kiari for his briefings. Mr. President, A3+ strongly condemns the flagrant assault by Israel on the unity and the territorial integrity of Somalia by recognizing as an independent entity to the northwestern region of Somalia, so-called Somaliland, which is legally incapable of entering into any agreement or arrangement or recognition with another country. Any such purported arrangements are therefore null and void. Further, this action represents a direct violation of the UN Charter, the African Union's fundamental principles, and a breach of cornerstone of the international law. Respect for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the states. This act of aggression is aimed at encouraging fragmentation of the territory of Somalia, which is the northwestern region, is an integral part and is destabilizing the Horn of Africa, entire Horn of Africa, and the Red Sea region. It should be firmly rejected and condemned unequivocally by all member states. A3+ therefore rejects this announcement by Israel and calls for it to be rescinded. In this regard, A3+ aligns itself with the recent statements of the chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, in categorically rejecting all attempts at undermining the independence, sovereignty, territorial integrity of Somalia. A3+ reaffirms the long-standing and consistent position of the African Union, rooted firmly in the constitutive act of the Union and the principles of respecting borders inherited at independence, as proclaimed in 1964 decision of the Organization of African Unity, Cairo Declaration. We further call on all member states.
والله لا قانون درس يعني والله درس يعني يحكم في حكمة بالكلام في حكمة بالحديث.
To take a unified and principled stand against this illegal action, which undermines the very foundation of the international legal order. A3+ seizes this opportunity to welcome all regional, international, bilateral, and multilateral partners who express their clear support and the commitment to the sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity of Somalia. Mr. President, taking note of the statements made by some officials regarding the forced involuntary relocation of Palestinians from their homeland to other countries, A3+ unequivocally reject any steps aimed at advancing this objective, including any attempt by Israel to relocate the Palestinian population from Gaza to northwestern region of Somalia. This action is not only unlawful, but is morally reprehensible. Recalling the provisional measures and advisory opinion of the International Court of Justice regarding the forcible displacement of Palestinian people from their land, we call on Israel to comply with its legal obligations on this matter. A3+ will neither accept nor condone the illegal use of any territory, let alone that of sovereign state, which is a member of United
يعني كثيرين الدول اللي رفضوا هذا القرار كثير
Nations to deny the right of self-determination to a people who have been subjected to crimes against humanity for many, many years. Neither the future of the Palestinian people nor the territorial sovereignty of Somalia can be used as a bargaining chip. This utter disdain for law and morality must be stopped now. We further underscore our steadfast support for the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people, including their right to self-determination and their right to their homeland in accordance with the two-state solution. Rather than contributing genuinely to the commendable international peace efforts in the Middle East through the long overdue recognition of independent, sovereign Palestinian state, Israel has instead chosen to project instability into the Horn of Africa, promote divisions and create new sources of tensions in the region already.
والله مزبوط يعني حكيو، يعني عم تعزز الانقسامات مشان شو يغطوا على شغلات تانية كمان. هلا هي شو عم بيغطوا كمان؟ عم بيصيب مينيسوتا شغلات ضد الشعب الصومالي، عم بيغطوا عليه، بدهم يلتهوا هي وهون وهون يعني مشان يسكروا المواضيع.
Facing multidimensional and complex challenges. Mr. President, in closing, A3+ reiterates its unwavering commitment to the Somalis' unity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity. No external actor has the legitimacy or authority to alter the unity, the sovereignty, or territorial configuration of Somalia or any other sovereign state. Israel's action not only set a dangerous precedent, but also pose a serious threat to regional and international peace and security. A3+ calls again on the international community to uphold its responsibility under the United Nations Charter and to reject any act that undermines the sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity of Somalia or the rights of the Palestinian people through a manipulative and immoral actions. I thank you, Mr. President.
ثانك يو. حبيت كلماته والله. شكرا على هالكلمات الرائعة، شكرا على هالحديث اللي هيك عن جد منطقي. تحية كبيرة له، تحية كبيرة لكم. طيب وإن شاء الله الصومال واحدة، الشعب الصومالي واحد، جزء لا يتجزأ. لا صومالي لاند ولا تقولوا لي انتم شعب واحد. الله يسعدكم، تحية كبيرة لكم. إذا عجبكم الفيديو أعطونا لايك، اشتركوا بالقناة، شاركوا الفيديو مع أصدقائكم مع العيلة وين ما كان لحتى ترفعوا فيديو شوفوا غيركم. اكتبوا لي بالتعليقات إذا أنت حابب كشخص حابب تتجزأ الصومال أو لا. اكتبوا لي بالتعليقات. كان معكم فيديو الناس، بالسلام.
عبيد عماد فوق هيك المعنى عم فهمك، ما بتهمك بالغباء بس الفشل فيكن داء، خلق امل ودواء فما بفكر فيكن لا. بديت من الصفر ما حدا معي كمل، فكروني ما رح وصل بس لكني بالقمة انا صرت فوق، قاعد فين عم اتأمل. هلا الكل صار يحبني بس لاني صرت الاول.